This incredible place. The art is fabulous. How fun is this? I love this flamingo in boots. Sophie loves it too. I wanted to do a video and talk a little bit this morning. Here, I want to share a little story about our travel journey, and then also an alchemy and ancestral clearing process that I'm going to be doing this weekend with the full moon. So this is a really potent full moon in Leo, and we are really being asked, if you are called to this work right now, this deep soul, shamanic, creative journey work, to release any patterns that you may be carrying, any subconscious belief, trauma imprints that you may be carrying in your ancestral line that are blocking your soul's purpose, your full self-expression, your freedom, your own liberation from, it's almost like, when I tune into this, it's almost like an addiction to suffering. And we have to go to the root, right? We have to go to we have to feel it to heal it. We have to reveal it to feel it, to heal it. And so we're going to be diving into looking at these patterns that get passed down. Some people call it generational curses. That's a little dramatic for me. I don't really see it that way. I see everything, I'm a multidimensional energy healer, and I see things all as energetic patterns. So, and kind of, from that place of divine neutrality. So if you look at just everything is energy, and everything has a frequency and a consciousness, that's ultimately what karma is. It is the consciousness with which we create. In fact, your definition of karma is really defined by your own conscious awareness, right? There are many different definitions, like any spiritual truths, and they all hold a certain level of consciousness, and they're all ultimately patterns of energy and frequency. And we can kind of riff on that for a while, but that's not even important. Like, I don't even get into the story of trauma. I look at the energetics of it, look at the pattern of it and how it gets passed down. The reason why it's passed down is because a person did not have the resources, the internal resources, the external resources to heal it, to reconcile it. And since everything is energy, there's going to be a distortion there, right? There's going to be a limited belief, maybe a pain in the physical body, a stunted emotional development, right? There's all of these layers that affect us because we're multidimensional beings. We are multidimensional souls living in this human experience, and we have to wake up and activate all of who we are. And we do this through reclaiming the soul fragments, right? Retrieving the life force, the creative life force from these experiences, whether we experience them or we hold them in our DNA or we carry them in our on a cellular level. So give me a thumbs up, a heart, if this is resonating for you, and if you're being called to do this work. I've had so many people reaching out to me about just the ancestral piece that I've decided to do it with this moon tomorrow morning. So you can join me, and I'm going to put the link after this video, or I'll have Mia put this link in the comments and in the header so that you can join us. It's going to be a private group. It's a 2 to 3 hour session, virtual session. There's a guidebook, there's handouts. You also get ongoing coaching, group coaching with me to integrate the process, because this is not a quick fix. This is you claiming your empowerment as a conscious co-creator. Hey, Austin, what's up, brother? And deciding to break the cycle of these things that are getting passed down. They show up as heart disease that gets passed down, or, thyroid disease, or cancer. All of that has an emotional, energetic root, and it's so important that we bring it into consciousness and you can actually shift it really quickly. You don't have to wait until it metastasizes into some horrific, medical emergency or mental health issue, right? All of these, we all express this energy differently depending on our soul's purpose. So it's super, super important to bring this into awareness and to know that we now have the consciousness, the awareness, the resources, and the tools to shift this stuff. And it can be fun. It can be playful, and it can be rather quick. We're working on the quantum level, so it can actually happen really quick. You don't need like 20 years of therapy to heal your trauma, or the trauma and the belief systems that get the patterns and behaviors that get passed down. We have, that doesn't really work anyway, because you can't just keep talking about it. You'll just keep perpetuating it and creating it on the quantum in the quantum field. So we work with art. We do it multidimensionally. It is energy work, and I guide you through this. I am not doing this for you. I mean, on some level, there's a resonance in terms of consciousness and energy. Yes, right? That will impact you. That will activate those parts, that level of consciousness within you. But you are the creator. You are the activator. We are activating and retrieving your full soul self-expression, your full creative potential, your power as a conscious creator, back from these belief systems that you are a victim in life, or that you are unable to affect your external reality, right? This is super, super important. So if you're being called to this ancestral alchemy process, you can private message me, or I'll add the link below. It's really quite powerful energy medicine, and message me and I will send you more info. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? I want to tell a little bit of story. So we left Nusa Dua yesterday, which is on the coast, and we went there. We were there for about a week. My incredible marketing magician, assistant slash support whiz, Mia, who is also my nanny and also helping me in my business and is traveling with us. She's amazing, and we've been having so much fun. It's so wonderful to be able to manifest and attract like the most soul aligned, perfect fit for us, because it's a pretty unique journey that we're on, creative journey that we're on, and we are so grateful to have Mia on our team and just as part of our little travel caravan here in Bali. And I'm going to be sharing more about our story and a little bit more about her, and introducing her to you all as well, because we just felt really inspired to share our unique experience. So anyway, we were leaving Nusa Dua, and we were there for about a week. I took Sophie there because Mia had to do a visa run. So she went to the Philippines for the weekend, on her weekend off. So I took Sophie to Nusa Dua, and it's like the best beaches on the Bali coast for kids. It's just kid friendly in terms of the beaches. The waves aren't too, intense, and we just got a nice resort and sat there for a week. Not sat there, but we were there for about a week, and it was amazing. It was really wonderful. We had an immigration run ourselves because we had to extend our travel visas, and the office was right nearby. So we've had, all these, challenges traveling around accommodations and, AC. It's very, very hot here right now. Everyone told me, oh, you're going to Indonesia during, hey Stuart, what's up? During the rainy season, and to worry about the rain. Well, we haven't had very much rain, although we just got to Ubud, and it definitely, I think, rains here more than it does down south. We've been in Uluwatu and then Nusa Dua, and it's been so hot. Hey Christine, way above the heat index, above 100, degrees Fahrenheit. super, super hot. So AC has been like, and I, you know, am wired where energetically, I just have a lot of heat in my constitution. And Sophie and I both like heat up. I don't know if you can, if this resonates for you, but we both heat up when we sleep. So for me, like AC at night in a hot climate is a non-negotiable, right? I just need it. So we rented this incredible villa in Uluwatu after leaving the yoga retreat where I did my retreat at the beginning of the year, which was amazing. It was fabulous. We loved it. If anyone needs a yoga retreat in Uluwatu, message me and I'm happy to put you in touch with the owners. It was really wonderful. And so we rented this villa that was supposed to have all this stuff. And of course it didn't have exactly what was promised, including AC in the master bedroom. And I've been working like, you know, virtually leading retreats, leading private retreats with clients here in Bali. And so that is one of my non-negotiables. I need to sleep. As a mother, as a business owner, you know, as an energy healer, my energy is a priority, right? It's my service, it's my product, if you will. People in many ways invest in my energy, invest in my consciousness. So it's my responsibility to keep my energy high, to keep it high vibe, and to keep myself well rested and nourished, right? So if I can't sleep, then my whole system is off. And if my system is off, then I can't do what I feel called to do. I can't take care of my child. I'm not super pleasant to be around. And so my energy is my number one priority. It is a non-negotiable. And I have things that I know in terms of self-care and self-responsibility that I need to have in place so that so that my energy runs and is well replenished and, and nourished in that cycle of giving and receiving, that integration of masculine and feminine energy. And again, you've heard me talk about the masculine and feminine principle within all of us. Masculine energy is giving. Masculine energy is talking, right? Feminine energy is rest, restoration, relaxing, receiving. It's receptive, it's listening, if you're looking at those polarities. So for me, I have to constantly manage, and all of us, right? That's how we express our wholeness and we stay in harmony with our own inner polarity, what I call the inner family. Right? It's the inner mother, the inner father, and the inner child dynamic. It's kind of an inner psychic coaching model or coaching tool, and it's an inner psychic model for wholeness. So it's really easy to look at those energetic patterns and see where we are and where we're out of balance and what we need to do, where we need to take action, which is masculine energy, to line that energy up. Right? To make sure that we are in a constant state of flow, our energy is flowing through us, and that we are that's how we create and manifest and flow through life, or really life flows through us. Yeah? So anyway, long story short, I just like, everyone who talks about coming to Bali always says, Bali will teach you about flow. And it was so funny because the retreat that I felt called to do was the initiation into flow. And I'd never been to Bali. And so I don't know if you watched some of my earlier videos or posts, I had to change the location of the retreat at the last minute. And it was so gut guided. Like it was like once I landed in Bali, I got direction, I got the next step, I got the guidance intuitively to go here and there, and it all of course worked out beautifully, but I had to surrender to being in the unknown, to not having it figured out, to other people being uncomfortable with that, to trusting my gut, to letting go of all the details, and to trusting that the divine, my intuition, my heart, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, was guiding me, my higher self, right? And so we had a little bit of that yesterday too. So we were planning on coming to Ubud here in Bali for the weekend, and probably more, you know, longer. We have friends here that we're really excited to see and connect with. And but there's so here, like Ubud is filled with like hip hotels and guest houses, and there's the monkey forest for kids, and you know, Hey Michelle, and all these places. And so I kept constantly looking on Airbnb and booking, and you know, what's the right place, and you know, what are our needs, and you know, it was overwhelming, and so nothing was clicking for me, so I just kept putting it off. And we literally booked our place yesterday for last night, and out of all these places I couldn't decide. There was just too many options, right? And finally, Mia and I sat down and picked a place and booked it on Airbnb, and this is so classic, right? And then all the stuff started happening. Well, it started to rain, and it was dark by the time we got here because we kind of had a busy day yesterday work-wise. And by the time we got to Ubud in the taxi, you know, Sophie was asleep. It was pouring down rain. It was dark. We're in the jungle. You know, we're driving around. The address that we were given on Airbnb was like, you know, the driver didn't know. He was a new driver. We couldn't find him on cellular data. Wasn't working, or you know, was off. I turned it on, but it really wasn't working. So we couldn't get the location. We couldn't get the proper directions. We couldn't call. I mean, it was just like one thing after another, and we were totally in the unknown and kind of like, oh my gosh, where are we going, right? And then I'm like, all these reviews, we get the name of this place and all these horrible reviews, and we've already had kind of these travel nightmares about like where we were staying, like we paid for this and got this, or the AC wasn't working or properly, or there was just all this drama around this last villa that we rented, so we left, you know, because again, energy, like, you know, if it's not in alignment, it's going to drain your energy, and it's just not worth the investment, even if I had invested, you know, in staying there. So anyway, so then all these reviews started popping up about this place, about how horrible it was, and I was like, oh shit, like what have we done? You know, like, where are we going? And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I only booked 2 nights, because that was my instinct, was like, you know, just get there and see what happens, you know, check it out, and if you like it, you can always book more, and if not, you can always move. And that's kind of, you know, my new travel sort of guidance has been that way. Well, we got here last night in the middle of the rain, and it was amazing. Like, there's incredible art everywhere. I almost feel like I'm in Austin, in the middle of it's kind of kitschy design, vintage, you know, very creative, Balinese, super fun, lots of color, and you're in the middle of the jungle, so it's like you know, very alive. There's lots of monkeys and geckos, and you know, Sophie was just like, oh, this is amazing. And beautiful trees and flowers. And here you can kind of see, this is my view. Right here. There's the yoga shala. Across the way, the beautiful pool. I mean, it's just heavenly. And we're right outside of Ubud, covered in rice fields all around us. It's just really peaceful. Right? Really beautiful. But like, the journey to get here was, you know, a little mysterious. Like, we had to go into the unknown. We had to let go of control. We had to trust our gut. We had to wait till the last minute. We had to, or until we were guided where something felt right. We had to trust. We had to let go of, you know, and open up to what was possible in the moment. Anyway, it was so cool. We're super happy to be here. We'll probably be here for at least a week or more. Who knows, right? But I will be doing an ancestral alchemical art intensive, which is a sacred shamanic journey for releasing patterns on the ancestral line or generational curses, freeing yourself from family karma. So what is that? What that means is breaking the cycle of pain that gets passed down unconsciously through family systems, through relationships, through attachment styles, through unprocessed trauma and disease that gets passed down unknowingly, unconsciously, through the generations. And if you're watching this video, you're probably being called to break the cycle and for yourself, for your lineage, right? This is not about blaming your ancestors. This is about claiming your evolution. This is about claiming your legacy and being the change, because these patterns and belief systems get passed down, and it's up to us to clear the discord, right? Clear the disharmony. And it shows up on the masculine line, on the feminine line, and bring that back into balance. And the first step is really the ancestral line. I've been doing this work for the last couple of years. It's powerful, powerful, potent medicine, using painting because it is an alchemical, multidimensional experience. It is very shamanic in nature, and you know, I really activate you to do your own work around this, your own creative power, your own creative potential, your own healing gifts. And it will activate your masculine and feminine principle, and also integrate them, like clear whatever wounds need to be cleared and restored. It's the deep, deep soul work that's going to activate that. So if you're interested, I will post a link below. You can join me. I'm going to be doing the intensive. It'll be tomorrow morning in Bali. Is it tomorrow morning or is it Sunday morning? It's actually Sunday morning, Saturday evening in North America. And yeah, we'll post the time zones. Mia's figured it all out, being the whiz that she is. So stay tuned if you do feel called. So many people have been asking me for this. It's just the ancestral piece, because that really is the first step. So if you want to come into balance with your own masculine and feminine energy, this is the ticket. What's up, cuz? Hey, Tim. All right, sending you so much love from Bali, from Ubud. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye for now.